From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
Tonight on News Hour, National Industrial Court to hear government's application on ASUU strike as President Buhari meets pro-chancellors. Court nullifies Zamfara PDP governorship primary election. Sokoto state government constructs drainage to avert flood. And on the foreign scene, at least 10 people killed and several missing in Italy flooding. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Hour. I am Diran Onifade. The National Industrial Court has adjourned the suit filed by the federal government challenging the ongoing strike by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, to 19th September for a hearing of the interlocutory application of the federal government. Neil Sampson, who was at the court for Trust TV, reports that the federal government counsel asked the court to give the suit an accelerated hearing due to the urgency of the matter. The report.
Counsel to ASUU, Femi Falana, has said he has been served with federal government interlocutory application. The counsel further added that ASUU is currently meeting with stakeholders to ensure the lingering crisis is resolved. He therefore appealed to the federal government to cooperate with them to resolve the issue amicably for the sake of the students who are at the receiving end.
The purpose of the case is to frustrate negotiations. And there's no way you are going to resolve this problem without going back to the drawing table. You must negotiate. And that has been our experience. With all the strikes by ASUU and other unions, the government must be ready to negotiate. The government set up the Jibril Committee to renegotiate the 2009 agreement. The committee concluded its assignment. The government threw it up. The government set up another committee, BRICS Renegotiation Committee, brought out profound recommendations. ASUU accepted the recommendation. The government said no. Those are two committees set up by the government in respect of this strike. So our appeal should go to the government to learn to respect agreements so that these strikes will not be necessary in the interest of the nation and in the interest of our children. And the fact, notwithstanding the fact that government must be prepared to end this strike.
However, the lead counsel of the federal government highlighted the stand of the federal government.
The Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment made a referral to this court. On the 12th of September, the Honorable Court directed parties to file their relevant processes and directed that we should file our process between Monday and Tuesday. We filed all our processes on Monday, including the position of the federal government, and we also filed an interlocutory application seeking to restrain ASUU from continuing with that strike, pending the hearing and determination of the substantive source.
We are here to observe the sitting and to make our stand. That our stand is very simple and clear. We want to return back to class. That is our stand. And we are calling on the federal government and ASUU to shift ground so that at least we go back to class. This is almost 8 months to 9. We are tired. Always we are at the receiving end. The only thing we are appealing and begging is that the FG and ASUU should shift ground, all of them, so that we go back to class.
The ASUU strike has entered its 7th month now. It is however hoped that a resolution will be reached soonest for the benefit of the students and the nation at large. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged to hold further consultations with relevant stakeholders towards ending the protracted strike by university lecturers under the aegis of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU. The president made the pledge Friday at the State House, Abuja, when he met with the chairman and select members of pro-chancellors of federal universities. The pro-chancellors were led to the meeting by Professor Nimi Briggs, who said they had come to meet with the president as commander-in-chief and the visitor to federal universities. He added that the future of the university system in the country is good, citing as example the recent listing of the University of Ibadan among the first 1,000 universities in the world, a development occurring for the first time. Professor Briggs commended the federal government for concessions already made to the striking lecturers. The pro-chancellors also asked for a reconsideration of the no work, no pay stance of the government, promising that lecturers will make up for the time lost as soon as an amicable situation is reached and schools reopened. Minister of State for Education, Goodluck Nana Opia, said all the concessions made by the federal government were to ensure that the industrial action comes to an end, but ASUU has remained adamant. A federal high court in Zamfara State on Friday nullified the primary election that produced Dauda Lawal Dare as the state's PDP governorship candidate for the 2023 elections. A former federal lawmaker and who also contested the election, Ibrahim Shehu Guzo, had approached the court seeking for the nullification of the People's Democratic Party's primary elections, citing gross irregularities as reason. Delivering the judgment, Justice Aminu Bafa Aliyu said all the prayers of the plaintiff had been granted by the court and ordered that fresh primary election be conducted to ensure justice and fairness to all parties.
The issues of preliminary objection that were raised by the defendants, and the court held that it had jurisdiction to entertain this matter because it was purely a pre-election matter as we contemplated in our claims. Therefore, the court proceeded to look at the merit of the matter and decided the case in favor of the plaintiffs. The primary election that was allegedly conducted by the committee of Adamu Waina Waziri was nullified by the Honorable Court. An order was given by the Honorable Court to reconduct another primary election in line with the constitution of People's Democratic Party and guidelines of that party.
Today, a judgment is delivered in the case of His Excellency Dauda Lawal Dare, People's Democratic Party, and Dr. Engineer Shehu Bakawi, as you have heard. The judgment was in the favor of the plaintiffs. But we are going to look at the judgment, the records, and everything to see the next line of action, which I believe is appeal. We are going to appeal definitely. The judgment, we are going to look into it because, as you can see, even the learned, even my Lord himself, he does not pronounce the entire judgment because he is sick. He just gets a summary. So we have not had it. You have not had it. We are going to apply. When we apply, we are going to see what he relies upon.
More on politics, the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has traveled abroad. His media advisor, Paul Ibe, in a statement, said insinuations that the trip is for medical is not correct. Ibe said Atiku will be traveling immediately after his meeting on Friday in Lagos with the leadership of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, PFN, alongside the PDP vice presidential candidate, Governor Ifeanyi Okowa of Delta State. His trip is coming a day after his party has named 349 member council chaired by Akwa Ibom State Governor Udom Emmanuel. The Sokoto state government says it has spent over 2 billion naira for a water storm project in the Mabera area of the state. In an exclusive interview with Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin, the State Commissioner for Environment said the project is to prevent flood and environmental degradation, which has been disturbing the area. The report.
Over the years, residents in Mabera area of Sokoto metropolis has been threatened by flood and environmental degradation, which the state government say is now a history.
18.59 kilometer storm water management project at the cost of 2.2 billion naira. It's a collaboration between state government and the World Bank in order to address the flood as well as erosion itself, because they come together. Once the flood is addressed, erosion menace will go to the bay.
In collaboration with the World Bank-funded project NewMap, this 2.8 billion naira water storm project is expected to help prevent erosion, flood, and other environmental challenges around the area.
We were able to actually come to the rescue of a very difficult terrain in the area of Mabera. Terrain here, I'm referring to an area that suffers from perennial floods, urban floods here in Sokoto metropolis. Over 18.5 kilometers of drainage of various sizes was put in place to specifically address the flood issues in Mabera area and the adjoining areas. This is the major work we have implemented under this program.
Meanwhile, the state government says adequate provision has been made to ensure that the environment is kept clean and that residents ensure that indiscriminate refuse dump is avoided.
We try to bring up with some policies and laws that will allow other people to participate. In that respect, we are able to propose the establishment of Sokoto State Environmental Sanitation Policy number 7 of 2015. And that policy allows us to bring up private companies to refuse evacuation and then also allow other stakeholders to contribute their own quota.
While the Mabera Water Storm Project is designed to address the menace of gully erosion and land degradation, other selected communities will also benefit from the project. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Sokoto.
The federal government on Friday unveiled the Nigeria Cooling Action Plan, NCAP, to promote sustainable and affordable access to cooling system. While unveiling the NCAP at the commemoration of the World Ozone Day, WOD, in Abuja, the Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdullahi, said the objective of NCAP was to deliver on the global environment agenda. The minister, who was represented by the Director, Pollution and Environmental Health of the Ministry, Charles Ikia, said the World Ozone Day is an annual event that commemorates the date of the signing of the Montreal Protocol on substances that deplete the ozone layer in 1987. He said the Montreal Protocol has continued to provide a platform for more than 198 countries to work together to phase out ozone-depleting substances to protect the ozone layer, adding that the protocol was the most successful environmental agreement to date with universal ratification. Residents of Bulbula community of Jos North local government area of Plateau State are decrying vandalizing of a bridge that links their community with other communities in the Jos metropolis. The residents said they have reported the issue to Jos North local government chairman on the need to take stringent measures, but to no avail. Ado Musa reports.
The bridge, popularly known as Gadans Ogai, was constructed in 1975 and is linking various communities in the state capital. According to the residents, this is a bridge with intense traffic, and if it collapses, it can lead to catastrophe as thousands of people go through the bridge every day for their daily activities. They said vendors, especially youth, have been removing the iron rods in the pillars of the bridge, making it weak, which is dangerous to motorists and people plying the road. Umar Yakubu, the ward head of Bulbula community, while lamenting on the condition of the bridge, blamed the Jos North local government authority for its lackadaisical attitude toward the repairs of the bridge. The very day we discovered that some unscrupulous youth have started removing the iron rods used in the construction of the pillars of the road, we took action at our level as community. We set up a group of people to be passing night at the side of the bridge to prevent the vandals from removing the roads, because the vandals come in the night. But despite such effort, they beat our intelligence to remove the roads during raining, when all of us have returned home. we reported the incident to the chairman of Jos North, Shehu Bala, but nothing has been done about it.
Saboda sadaukar da ma rais da suke wallahi sai ana ruwa za su shiga dan suna sara ba za a ji ba.
Ke faruwa a gadar Sogai gada ce wanda ta yi linkin Nasarawa.
This is the bridge that links communities of Majima, Zololo, Bulbula, Nasarawa and Layin Sarki. Students pass across the bridge to their various schools. We pass through the bridge while going for our businesses or hospitals, but the bridge is now in a sorry condition. If the bridge collapses, it is a big problem to us. We have realized that the bridge is shaking. We call on the government to do the needful before it is too late. Effort to contact the chairman, Jos North local government area, Shehu Bala, on the development proved abortive. However, the community said if nothing is being done to salvage the bridge from possible collapse, various communities will suffer. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Meanwhile, northeastern state governors are meeting in Gombe to chart common objectives for development of the geopolitical zone devastated by insurgency. Governor Inua Yahaya is hosting the 7th edition of the Northeast Governors Forum meeting. Governors Ahmadu Finturi of Adamawa, Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, Babagana Zulum of Borno, and host Inua Yahaya personally attended the meeting. Governors of Taraba and Yobe were, however, absent. Ibrahim Ismail brings us an update.
As governors of the northeast of region,
this is the 7th meeting of the Northeast Governors Forum holding in Gombe State, with the governors present to deliberate on issues that has to do with security and development in the region. All the Northeast governors are present, except for the governors of Taraba and Yobe, who sent in their representatives. Governor Muhammadu Inua Yahaya of Gombe State, who is the host of the program, said the problems that led to the creation of the Northeast Governors Forum still persist, calling on all the stakeholders to put hands on deck to address the problem.
This meeting is coming at a time when the region and indeed the entire country continues to grapple with multiple challenges that require urgent solutions. Those same challenges that necessitated the formation of the Northeast Governors Forum still persist today. These include the lingering Boko Haram insurgency and the resultant humanitarian crisis, evolving security threats posed by criminal activities like banditry and kidnapping, climate change, disasters, especially the recent floods, and their debilitating effects on the livelihoods of our people.
The chairman of the Northeast Governors Forum and the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, said the issue of kidnapping needs to be tackled in the region.
As we are now set to deliberate on matters of common interest and shared responsibilities, there is compelling need for us to take a more critical look at the emerging issue of kidnapping, which has become a crime of choice for criminals and is becoming rampant and widespread. It is, therefore, a matter of strategic necessity to essentialize the issue of kidnapping and come up with implementable measures to deal with this element of criminality before it is too late. It is in this respect we will obviously be guided by our respective attorney generals who will initiate the appropriate legal framework to deal with the problem.
The Northeast governors are now in a closed-door session, after which a communique will be issued to members of the press on the development. We will keep you updated on this issue as soon as the communique is out. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
Thank you, Ibrahim. The Almajiri system of education has over the years been a topic of debate among stakeholders across the country. At an art and literacy event in Kaduna, some experts are of the view that there should be a total repositioning of the Almajiri education system while others want it reintegrated or integrated into the formal school system. The balance, that is to balance the knowledge of Quran with Western education. Bello Musa reports.
The Almajiri system of education is predominantly practiced in the northern Nigeria and has remained a source of concern to many stakeholders in the region. Most of the pupils called Almajiri are young children between the ages of 5 and 17 sent out of their homes by their parents in search of Islamic knowledge. However, studies have shown that rather than acquire the knowledge of the Quran and jurisprudence, most of the pupils who later transform into adults while roaming the street rarely acquire the requisite knowledge worthy enough to make them useful to themselves and the society.
It affects almost every aspect of our life. It affects the social aspects of our life, it affects the political aspects of our life, it affects the economic aspects of our life. So in every sphere that you're seeing, we have over 10-point-something million out of school children. And in that 10-point-something million out of school children, you're talking probably 70-80% are Almajiri. So that really causes a really daunting problem for us in the near future.
Well, I believe that reforming the Almajiri system requires everybody, all stakeholders to come on board. All stakeholders meaning government, religious leaders and traditional institutions and also the parents.
They also want the Almajiri system of education to be integrated into the formal school system.
Government has to take the lead because government is where the buck stops. It's where is the one in charge of everything, and therefore it will have to take the initiative of making everybody to fall in line, and also it's doing its part, especially in mopping up the children that are now on the streets.
If we can incorporate a little bit of basic literacy and numeracy to them, a bit of digital skills, believe me, there is no limit to what these children can achieve.
The stakeholders said measures put in place at the local and state levels rarely made any difference in addressing the menace as parents keep sending their children to some clerics. To this end, they urged the federal government to ameliorate the plight of the Almajiri, especially in the northern Nigeria. From Kaduna, Bello Musa reporting for Trust TV.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, decades-old trade declining. Stay with us.
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them what the consequences of electoral violence might be? Do your part to make peaceful elections happen. Talk to your children. Protect them from unscrupulous politicians who want to put them in harm's way, while their own children are comfortable at home, within and outside the country. Let's join hands to make 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NOAA.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is News Hour on Trust TV. A recap of our top stories. National Industrial Court to hear government's application on ASUU strike as President Buhari meets pro-chancellors. And court nullifies Zamfara PDP governorship primary election. And moving on to more stories. A Vietnamese Nguyen Hoi was on Friday convicted by a Lagos Federal High Court for trafficking in 200 kilograms of pangolin scales. Nguyen was given the jail term by Justice Daniel Osiago after he pleaded guilty to a 2-count charge made against him by the Nigeria Customs Service. The convict was brought before the court on charges of acting in contravention of Nigerian Customs and Excise Management Act and unlawful possession of pangolin scales or specimens specified in the first schedule of the Endangered Species Act. The convicted Vietnamese and others were some time ago brought before the court after they were arrested by the Nigeria Customs Service and Wildlife Justice Commission, a joint wildlife enforcement operation targeting illegal wildlife traffickers of pangolin scales from Africa to Asia. The Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps in Delta State has arrested 9 persons for illegally dealing in petroleum products, sealed up an illegal dump site in Uvie local government area, and confiscated illegally refined petroleum products. The Corps spokesperson disclosed that the civil defense is stepping up the fight against crude oil theft and pipeline vandalism. He said the command has launched special tactical team Operation Show No Mercy to vandals. The team arrested 3 suspects with dual-purpose kerosene and automated gas oil. The team also arrested 2 others who ran an illegal dump site close to Niger Cat in Uvie local government and 2 others on the Sapele-Warri highway dealing with illegally refined AGO stored in drums.
Upon 24 hours into their operations, they discovered, busted, and arrested some suspects dealing illegally on petroleum products. So this is why we are here today, to tell the public that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is out not only to arrest but to prosecute and jail everyone who is illegally dealing in the petroleum sector or within the petrol industry. Today, we want to call on every meaningful Nigerians, Deltans to be precise, to avail the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps of every information that could lead to the arrest of these nefarious and barbaric activities of these suspects and hoodlums. It has caused the nation great loss, and it has caused its citizens devastating pains.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers and petrol tankers drivers have suspended their strike in Rivers State. This came after a meeting convened by the State Commissioner of Police, Friday Eboka, and attended by the unions and other stakeholders. This was contained in a communique signed by Chinda Ejims, who represented the tanker drivers, and the representative of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Other signatories were chairmen of Emuhua, Ikwere, and Eche local government areas of the state. The PTD Nupeng had complained of harassment, extortion, and impounding of members' trucks by operatives including the police, EFCC, Army, and task force operating in the 3 local government areas. Motorists in Bauchi State are appreciative of the efforts of traffic regulatory agencies in discharging their duties despite numerous challenges. The motorists speak to Trust TV on their experiences while applying Nigerian roads. Adamu Imam files in the report.
Motorists are expected to obey traffic regulations at all times, but in some cases, however, they neglected simple rules and regulations capable of causing fatal accidents. Some drivers are of the view that traffic regulations are doing well in enforcing traffic rules during operations.
Even though the Federal Road Safety as well generate money because of this regulation, they put to the MOT for the government, and this is what is exactly minimizing the road, making the people to really strict to the laws of the road.
And our securities, they are doing their work very well because they are trying. But some people, way that they never understand them, so they are the one that they are abusing them or harassing them if they don't understand what they want the driver to be a good drivers.
Awal Musa, an experienced commercial driver, explained that despite their contribution on safety of the roads, officials often favor some over others after committing traffic offense.
But we get some of them, few of them, they used to collect something from drivers. They don't even care with, in case of overload or open boot or vice versa, triangle lasting, they doesn't care with that one. If you came anyhow, if you get 200 naira or either 500 naira, they collect from you, then you can go anywhere you like.
Federal Road Safety Special Marshal says people are so careless on traffic rules, attributing this to why major road accidents occur.
Every motorist should remember that he has a duty of care. A duty of care. A duty that it is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you, the driver, that is controlling the lives of the people you are carrying in your vehicle. And Islamically, any life that you mistakenly or carelessly wasted through you have diya to pay.
He noted that as a special marshal, it is his duty to engage in operational clampdown of defaulters on traffic rules. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, on Friday said commercial motorcyclists, otherwise known as Okada, are still prohibited in Kubwa community and violators risk severe punishment. Recall that FCTA had approved the request of Buhari Area Council 2 years ago when it complained that crimes were being committed with the help of Okada riders. Okada operation was then prohibited in Kubwa and Dutse communities and was followed by serious mop-up by the combined team of a task force headed by the Directorate of Road Transport Services, DRTS. The success of the operation was, however, lost after the tempo went down, resulting in a huge resurgence of the cyclists in the two communities. Senior Special Assistant on Monitoring, Inspection and Enforcement to the FCT Minister, Iharu Atta, said the latest clampdown was a directive from the Minister, Mohammed Bello, that the illegalities associated with Okada operation should be dealt with drastically. Senior staff for Federal Ministry of Justice converged on Kano for a 3-day retreat on effective justice sector delivery. Salim Umar reports.
At least 100 senior management staff in the Ministry of Justice and legal experts have converged in Kano to deliberate on an important national assignment. Having regards to the existing challenges in this justice system, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, said the retreat is geared towards finding lasting solutions for effective service delivery.
These management retreats afford us the opportunity for review and self-assessment of our achievements as a ministry so far. Identify equally the challenges and areas requiring revitalization and then come up with innovative ideas to enhance our capacities to more efficiently and effectively achieve our institutional mandate as a ministry.
The Solicitor General of the Federation and Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Beatrice Jedi Abba, said the need to enhance the functionalities of the systems and structures is imperative.
We need to make adequate efforts towards upholding our core values, identify and tackle constraints to our ability to achieve our mandates as a ministry. We must make deliberate efforts to reposition the ministry towards attainment of government reform initiatives. Our service delivery must reflect our service compact.
While declaring the retreat open, Kano State Governor, represented by his deputy, Nasiru Gawuna, charged participants to solicit more provision of funding to the Legal Aid Council chapter in the state.
I would also like to urge the retreat to explore the possibility of increasing the funding of Legal Aid Council and posting of more counsel to their office in Kano State to enable them to assist the state's ever-increasing population.
The retreat ends on Sunday. Salim Umar Ibrahim, Trust TV News.
Plateau State Governor Samuel Lalong has called on the federal government to come to the aid of the state in tackling the potato blight disease, which has devastated many farms and caused heavy losses to the farmers. Dixon Adama reports that the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Hosea Finangwa, recently declared that potato farmers in the state cultivated about 150,000 hectares of land in the 2022 farming season, but lost 52,000 hectares to potato blight. The loss has been estimated to be about 18 billion naira across the state. Speaking in Jos, the Plateau State capital, at the 45th regular meeting of the National Council on Agriculture and Rural Development, Governor Lalong called on the federal government to come to the farmers' assistance by paying farmers some compensation.
Let me use this opportunity to draw the attention of the Honorable Minister to the increased incidences of devastation of potato farms by potato blight disease, which has almost wiped out the existing low-yielding and degenerated seeds. We request that the federal government comes to our aid by paying some compensation for the huge losses running into billions. We also ask for the upgrade of the National Road Crops Research Institute, Kuru outstation here in the state, to a full-fledged potato research institute. This will enable the breaking of new frontiers in the varieties of research seed production, introduction of blight-tolerant and disease-resistant varieties, farmer education, linkages with other local government international institutions, among others.
Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State. Still in Plateau, an abattoir is a place where animals are slaughtered, after which the meat is transported to market for the consumers to buy. Based on international best practices, an abattoir is expected to be equipped with a slaughter hall, guts and tripe room, detained meat room, offal room, condemned meat room, as well as hide and skin room. Ado Musa examines the level of hygiene at Jos main abattoir and the kinds of animals that are slaughtered.
Jos main abattoir, located in Green Community of Jos North local government area of the state, came into existence in 1975, but started functioning in 1978 with different kinds of animals, including cattle, sheep, goat, pig, and camel being slaughtered on daily basis. According to the project manager of the abattoir, Dr. Nembu John, hundreds of people are benefiting from the slaughterhouse every day, ranging from butchers, meat sellers, hawkers, tricycle drivers, among others.
We have our inspection officers, the staff of the ministry here, that every morning they do inspection just before slaughtering. By 6, sometimes 5:30 they are here. They will inspect the animals before slaughtering, and after slaughtering, they will inspect. Any animal that is not fit or any organ that is not fit, we condemn either partially or totally.
First of all, we carry out ante-mortem inspection. That is the inspection we carry before we slaughter the animals. And after slaughtering the animal, we carry out the post-mortem inspection.
The chairman of butchers of Josno local government area of the state, Usman Aliyu, who oversees slaughtering of animals at Gabadoho Abattoir, said they did not venture into the business overnight, explaining that they were trained on how to ensure healthy animals are killed for consumption. Before we came into the business, the Plateau State government took us to Bauchi for some practical courses on the business. That is why we are very careful when it comes to slaughtering animals for consumption. It is a trust given to us, and we can't compromise it. We must put eyes on the kinds of animal to be killed and the sanitation of the area we kill the animals. The project manager of Josmen Abattoir, however, expressed concern over the challenges.
There is no security. We don't have a security post. It's just one security officer that we have here that takes care of animals for the butchers. He is their own security personnel. And then we have the issue of young boys coming around, smoking, fighting each other around this area, and then vandalization of government properties.
Some sellers and customers share their experiences.
We usually sell to retailers and take it to various communities and sell to final consumers.
Every morning we come here to buy meat from Ogayas, and it's a healthier meat because even if the meat is not healthy, if they bring it here, we have doctors, and we don't used to bring anyhow meat, which is the healthier ones and the good ones.
Experts often emphasize that eating unhealthy meat and poor sanitation of abattoirs can cause infectious diseases such as heart and liver diseases, pneumonia, tumors, among others. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Now, the ancient town of Shagamu in Ogun State, in the southern part of Nigeria, is a household name regarding the cultivation and production of kola nuts, especially the white variety. This and other species of kola nuts attracted some Hausa kola nut merchants in large numbers from the northern parts of the country between 1910 and 1970. Abbas Dalibi reports that the business of kola nuts between north and south is one of the oldest trades, which is now adopting a new approach.
Today, there is increased demand for kola nut in global market, which is attributed to its use in pharmaceutical industries, leading to its high market value and its unavailability. This demand makes kola nut an important source of income for countries like Ghana and Nigeria. Adamu Munkaila is a resident of Agege in Lagos, whose forefathers were kola nut traders in Lagos since before independence. Said kola nut is one of the commodities that brought north and south together.
Actually, our forefathers came to southwest, particularly Lagos, just because of the kola nut business.
He said, as the kola nut trading changed patterns and other merchandise come into picture, such as sweet and date palms, the northerners in Lagos expanded their businesses by joining other ventures.
Today we have there are various businesses, in and outside Lagos states, which our people do. The business is not declining; it's only changed the way of doing it. You understand? Because if you look at the way they do it before and compare it to the way they do it now, there are slight differences due to the changing of generation.
Hajia Sisi is a famous businesswoman in Agege who sells kola nuts for decades. She lamented hike in price of the commodity, which has forced many out of business. Mrs. Abdulmajid, who was born and been in the kola nut trade for over 30 years, said Ogun State produced the best type of kola nut at Ode area of the state.
Shagam, Ore, Dayaton, and Awuri side.
She said kola nuts are now used for industrial purpose apart of consuming by individuals, hence the reason of its scarcity and high cost.
Used for Kampala, industrial work, and wedding ceremony.
In the year 2021, Nigeria was ranked 4th in kola nut exportation, while in 2020 it was ranked 1st with the share in production of 67.56%. Abbas Ibrahim Alibi, Trust TV, Lagos.
That report on kola nuts, Nigeria's quintessential commodity. Westerners grow it, Northerners eat it, and Easterners celebrate it. You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. We'll be back after the break.
Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has said President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to present the proposed 19.75 trillion naira 2023 appropriation bill to the National Assembly in the first week of October. The President of the Senate made this disclosure while inspecting the makeshift Senate chamber, which will serve as the temporary chamber due to the ongoing renovation of the Senate main chamber. Upon resumption on September 20, the Senate is expected to confirm the nomination of the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola. The acting CJN was appointed on June 27 this year, and he has 3 months to get Senate confirmation, failure of which will require fresh nomination. The renovation of the National Assembly complex, with completion target of August next year, is for the use of the incoming 10th Assembly.
This is going to be our temporary chamber for some time, some months, and I'm aware that it will be here that we conduct the business of the Senate up to next year, by the grace of God. That is not an issue. The way this place is renovated to accommodate distinguished senators is what matters to us. But you also know that we are going to resume, Mr. President, for the presentation of the 2023 appropriation of budget estimates. And we expect that the President will be doing that in the first week of October. Even though it may not be taking place here, imagine that the House of Reps chamber will be the appropriate place like we have always done. But that is going to be one of the issues that we have to tackle immediately we resume. We have the nomination or confirmation of the Chief Justice of Nigeria waiting already. Recall that the President sent request, but that was a day before the Senate went on its annual summer recess. And therefore, this is going to be one of the first things we need to do to ensure that the acting capacity does not go beyond the required 3 months.
Senate President Ahmed Lawan. We move on to business now. Azman Airlines has announced resumption of its flight operations after suspension by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA. According to reports, the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority suspended the air transport license of the domestic airline over failure to remit 1.2 billion naira ticket sales charge, TSC, from passengers. NCAA Director General Captain Musa Nuhu made this known in a statement issued in Lagos. However, Azman Airline, on its verified Twitter handle, said operation has been restored and all flights will now operate as scheduled from Friday, 16th September. The head of corporate communications and public affairs at Nestle Nigeria, Victoria Uwadoka, on Wednesday paid a courtesy visit to the Lagos office of Media Trust Limited to further cement the relationship between the two companies. During her visit, she commended the Media Trust Limited for being a partner for over 6 years and expressed the readiness of her company to further deepen the relationship. The report.
Uwadoka disclosed that the company, in its quest to source its raw materials locally, has been able to reduce rejection of grains at the factory's gate from 12% in the past 3 years to less than 4%.
That our products are locally sourced and locally produced as well, because we think that that's the only way to grow our economy. Some of the items that we use, especially the agricultural products, are 100% sourced in Nigeria. Maize, soya bean, sorghum, cocoa, palm oil, 100% sourced in Nigeria. We are not going anywhere else to source it. You know, it's interesting that when you buy maize from outside Nigeria, except now the foreign exchange has become something else, it's actually cheaper to import than we buy here. And so we work with the local farmers to actually enhance how they farm, modernize the farming methods to ensure that we're sustaining the soil to support us for the next 150 and beyond years.
She pointed out that while the company is developing the capacity of farmers to produce more, it is also attracting the next generation of farmers. The General Manager, Southern Operation of Media Trust Limited, Ademola Oladosun, described Media Trust as a dynamic that is evolving into one-stop shop for everything media, especially with the launch of the fast-rising Trust TV and soon-coming Trust Radio.
To further enhance Nestle as a brand, we really need to tell the story more to the public. You understand? When we write story, we can, we'll come to you, give us those information that we can spread.
He encouraged Nestle to take advantage of the dynamism of Media Trust to improve its brand.
We move to the foreign scene now. Floodwaters triggered by heavy rainfall have swept through several towns in a hilly region of central East Italy, leaving 10 people dead and several missing. According to the state radio, dozens of survivors scrambled onto rooftops or up trees to await rescue early on Friday, while firefighters said 7 deaths were confirmed and 3 people were missing. Rai State Radio said there were 10 confirmed deaths. 2 children, including one swept out of his mother's arms by the rushing waters in Barbara, were among 4 people still unaccounted for by late Friday morning. Another mother and her daughter, aged about 8, who were trying to escape the floodwaters, were missing in Barbara, the mayor told the Italian news agency ANSA. From there, we go to Adeni Ajishafe for sports.
Rivers United players and officials on Friday departed Lagos for the crucial second leg 2022-2023 CAF Champions League preliminary round tie against Watanga FC of Liberia, built for Monrovia. The MPFL champions hold a 3-goal advantage, having defeated Watanga FC 3-0 at the Adokia Masiamaka Stadium, with goals from Kenechuku Agu, Ebubeduru and Paul Akwa. Coach Stanley Eguma believes his side is set up for victory in Liberia, with the team not gunning for defensive but attacking football. The second leg is scheduled for Samuel Doe Sports Complex in Painesville on Sunday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And still on football, Greek side Aris FC has announced the signing of Nigerian Super Eagles midfielder Ogene Karoe-Tebo from English Championship side Stoke City. 51 appearances with 2 goals in the Championship and FA Cup, while he started for Stoke City before he left for Spain, where he played times and scored 11 goals for Getafe before returning to England at the end of the season. Nigeria International spent last season on loan with Premier League side Watford FC, but injuries scuttled his time with the club at the suffer relegation at the end of the season. Paye Harris announced the signing of Ogene Karoe-Tebo for 1-year deal. That's Sports News. I am Adeniyi Ajisafe.
And that's all on News Hour for tonight. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Deron Onifade. Have a nice weekend.